All right, yeah, I need y'all to brace yourself because this is going to be highly controversial. The topic of discussion is racism within 2K. I already know a lot of you guys are like, oh, come on, get out of here. How many times we heard somebody get on the mic with a hard R? But wait a minute, do you guys feel like you're a better player because of the color of your skin? Or maybe due to the color of your skin, you're better at certain positions while playing 2K? A prominent figure within the 2K community feels like your skin color will determine how well you play at a particular position. We about to get into all the details. Y'all be sure to drop a like and drop a sub if you can. I would like to reference this tweet that Chalk sent out early this morning. He said, here's a foolproof 5v5 guide to know if your Pro-Am team will be successful. So now our success as a Pro-Am team is determined by the color of your skin. And he goes on to break down each position, the point guard, shooting guard, lock, power forward, or center. And he describes in great detail how your success is pretty much determined by the color of your skin. He starts with the point guard position saying PGs can be any skin color as the game has changed over the years. Your white PGs are going to play the game much more safe, look to pass and get everyone involved, while your light skin and black PGs will play the game with more flair and look to score first. Traditionally, white PGs have had more league success. I would honestly like to know where Chalk is getting these statistics as. Is this just an overview of his perspective? Pretty much saying that white point guards play the game with way more structure, which then in turn leads to way better league success. And I already know you guys are about to sound off whether you're black or white, and I hate the idea that this has all been narrowed down to a black or white player. And because this particular year I do not have a lot of Pro-Am success, I'll be like curbing my judgment and my thoughts on this, or my opinions on what Chalk has to say here. But I would like to add that over the years, I've seen all sorts of races be good at the point guard position, and I've seen all sorts of races be terrible butt cheeks at the point guard position. What do you guys think about that? First, do you think that is even possible? The color of your skin could determine your success in Pro-Am as a point guard on the court? Or have you guys noticed things very similar to what Chalk is mentioning? That light skin and black folks have a little more flair at the point guard position, but white folks play the point guard position with a bit more structure, getting everybody involved on the court. Let's move on to the next position, at the shooting guard position. Chalk goes on to say, shooting guards are typically dominated by non-white players. Your white shooting guards may not be as elite when it comes to ball handling, but they value possessions and can slot in anywhere. Non-white shooting guards are usually faster and glitchier when it comes to dribbling. He goes on to say, I've never seen a white dribble god in my life. Whether you're white or black or somewhere in between, if you're a shooting guard out there, I need you to sound off on your experience. Share your thoughts in the comments section. And now he moves on to the lock position, and in capital letters, he says you cannot draft a white lock. He goes on to say, I repeat, you cannot draft a white lock. They are extremely rare. Christian McCaffrey's out there, but it's few and far in between. Drafting a white lock is a death sentence 99% of the time. They have no grit. And for those of you who don't know Chalk, maybe it's your first time hearing about Chalk, he is a white male. I would like to add that one of the best locks that I personally enjoy running with is our homie Sneaky, and he is indeed a white lock. Take that for what it is, but maybe Sneaky, he just goes against the grain. Power forwards. Chalk says power forwards are a mixed bag as well, where you can find success in all, but typically your best power forwards end up being white. They are lights out shooters and just very smart with their rotational calls. I ain't gonna front, it's just crazy that 2K is so dry that we even having this conversation. I think that's a fault on 2K. But it is what it is. Chalk goes on to the center position. He says center is another mixed bag where you can find success everywhere, but that seemingly ends up just being dominated by white players. There's success in all realms, but if you're trying to land a stud, you go white. Traditionally, that is. So traditionally, white players end up dominating the center position as per Chalk. And that pretty much wraps up this post from Chalk. But firstly, I'd like to say that I don't see how the color of your skin can determine how well you manage moving your fingers or adding controller cues. None of it really makes any sense to me. I could probably more so understand talking IRL because you're talking about physical fitness, your genetics, things like that. And even IRL, you cannot pinpoint who's going to be better at a certain position. But for some reason, Chalk feels like he has the complete understanding. Like he mentioned, do not draft a white lock. As Chalk said, that's a death sentence. And from what I gathered and what Chalk was trying to express here, at least my opinion, is that he feels like colored players are more flashy. It's not really just about getting the bucket. It's about getting the bucket with style. And something else that I noticed is that Chalk pretty much mentioned that black players play more aggressively, as white players, they just don't have any grit in regards to the lockdown position. I want to ask you guys, is this whole topic just ignorant in itself? Should we even be having this conversation? And I would really like to know where Chalk got these stats from. One thing that I always praise Chalk for is that he always somehow finds a way to maintain relevance. Do you guys think that there's an effort on his behalf to increase or maintain a certain relevancy within the 2K community? Power DF ended up responding to this, and it's pretty interesting. Power DF says, I wasn't even gonna bother replying, but this tweet is not only incorrect, it's also racist and harmful. He goes on to say, you just took a bunch of racial stereotypes and assumptions and put them in a tweet, and you encourage people to draft based on race. Extremely harmful. By suggesting that white point guards inherently play more cautiously and are more team-oriented, while light-skinned and black PGs are depicted as more individualistic and flashy, you're reinforcing dangerous racial stereotypes. You subtly implied that blacks may be more self-centered or less intelligent in their gameplay, which is based on nothing and it's wrong. Woo-wee! Let him have it, Power DF. He goes on to say, but then you continue with your tweet, specifically categorizing shooting guards and centers by race, asserting that shooting guards are usually non-white and better at certain skills, while white shooting guards are not as adept in those areas but bring other qualities to the game. This is not only unfounded but also harmful. Also, it prompts stereotypes rather than recognizing individual skills and talents. More alarming, you state you cannot, in capital letters, draft a white lock, implying that white players in that position are inferior. Such a claim is blatantly racist. It's not only inaccurate but also damaging, as it perpetuates a narrative where race is a deciding factor in a player's value, not who they are or what skills they have. Encouraging a team to draft based on a player's race is the very definition of racism. And he goes on to say, none of it is true. The assertion in your tweet that white players can't be elite dribblers, and the specific claim, I've never seen a white dribble god in my life, is just factually wrong. Many dribble gods in the community, like Hank the Tank and Cole the Man, both of whom are white, clearly disprove this claim. And then the suggestion to preferentially draft a white center to get a stud while ignoring the talents of all the skilled black centers is just overtly racist and also wrong. It's all wrong. And yes, it's racist. You've managed to encourage drafting not based on talent but race. And that's the literal definition of racism. Now, this is my first time fully reading this tweet from Power DF. I loved his approach and the way in which he chose to articulate himself. And in my opinion, is the absolute best way to address ignorance, to address racism. Racism shouldn't exist in 2K, but the fact is, it does. I will be going live to talk more about this highly controversial topic. Hopefully y'all can tune in. Y'all be sure to keep it locked. If you guys are tired of running with randoms and you're looking for players to run with on NBA 2K, come on out and join our Discord. We'd love to have you. The link for Discord will be in the description below. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and y'all be sure to keep it locked right here at AllCity Live TV, because we got a bunch more NBA 2K24 news, information, and updates coming your way. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. I'll catch you guys on the next video or live stream. Easy, y'all.